Give me a spin.
What?
Give me a spin. That was great. Hi everyone, it's Nisha and I think it's about time we caught up. I'm newly married, I had a beautiful wedding, and now my husband and I are starting out our vegan honeymoon in Barcelona. I was starving when we left the airport, so before we checked into our Airbnb, we found these super cool and pretty delicious popsicles for a quick snack. We stayed in an apartment just off La Rambla, which is one of the main streets in Barcelona. The apartment turned out to be beautiful. Here's the bathroom. Even though we didn't really use it, it had a great kitchen, a nice living room, and fabulous views of La Rambla. I swear this street was crowded like 24 hours a day, but it really didn't feel overwhelming. The apartment was really peaceful and quiet. I caught you again. I caught you again. Great place, highly recommend. We'll link them in the description.
So even though we were pretty jet-lagged and Nisha was on the verge of falling asleep standing up, we had reservations at a vegan restaurant for lunch. Luckily, the restaurant was only a short walk from the Airbnb. The place was called Raso Terra. It's an all-vegan restaurant that serves a smorgasbord of both regional specialties like ajo blanco or white gazpacho, with pan con tomate or bread with a light tomato sauce, or these spicy roasted peppers with an aioli-like sauce, along with some less local-inspired cuisine, like this Indian-esque chickpea curry with a folded papadum on top.
The highlight of the meal for me was probably the French toast dessert topped with a chickpea ice cream. Yes, you heard that right. After lunch, I'm not embarrassed to admit I needed a long nap. But once we shook ourselves awake, there was still a little twilight left, so we walked down La Rambla to the water near Barceloneta, where we were treated to some live music, and I made Jessie be a little silly on camera with me. Before we knew it, it was like 10 p.m. and we were really hungry again. So we went to Vegetalia, which is a vegetarian and vegan restaurant, also close to our Airbnb. We got a Beyond Burger, which came with some great fries, tatas bravas, but most importantly, I finally got to try some freaking paella. It was so good, and it came with some vegan chicken that was exactly like daring chicken, which we love. So good. Definitely order the paella here.
After our first Spanish dinner, we went back to the Airbnb for little Dharma and Greg before bed. One of the classics, if you know, you know.
Jessie thinks we're like Dharma and Greg, and after a few episodes, I have to honestly agree. The next day was my birthday. Something about Jessie is that he always plans a whole day for me for my birthday.
One thing I'd been really looking forward to about this trip was spending your birthday in a city we'd never been to. So I planned for us to start the day at the famous Mercat de la Boqueria, which is an open-air produce market, but it was closed because of some local Catalonian holiday.
Instead, we went to this really great restaurant called Teresa Carl's. It's a vegetarian restaurant with a lot of vegan options, and we got this really good gazpacho, and I don't even like cold soup. Jessie got this vegan cheese-stuffed breaded thing.
Still not really sure what it was.
And I, of course, got the paella, and this is one of my favorites.
After brunch, we wandered around for a little bit.
The B is for Barcelona. Okay.
Nisha taught me the art of an outfit check.
Out of all the outfit checks we've done, this is probably where we look the roughest.
Yeah, we were still fighting the jet lag. My biggest plan for Nisha's birthday was to take her for a sunset picnic at Park Güell, the famous Gaudi-designed park in Barcelona.
We picked up a sandwich at this fast casual chain, Pans & Company, which can be found all over Barcelona. They had that same chicken that was in the paella. It was amazing to be able to just quickly grab a great vegan sandwich to go, and it was a pretty good sandwich for not that much money.
We Ubered to the park. The drive was beautiful. The park is in this relatively quiet, gorgeous neighborhood, and all of the architecture there is just stunning. They even had wild parrots. I didn't even know those existed. Unfortunately, when we got to the park, we learned that you cannot buy tickets to enter inside the park on the same day. You have to buy them in advance.
But we were still able to find a beautiful spot to sit in, take some photos, and eat our sandwiches, and enjoy the beautiful views.
Yeah, they were gorgeous. Definitely have to go back and, actually see the inside of the park.
By the time we got back to our Airbnb, it was nighttime, La Rambla was bustling.
It's definitely an exciting city at any time of the night.
So to cap off the night, Jesse and I actually went to a members-only cannabis club, which exists throughout Barcelona. We, of course, couldn't take any video inside, but I can assure you it was a very cool space.
And after a while there, we were, for some reason, suddenly very hungry again. So we returned for the second night to Vegetalia. This time we tried their empanada, their pan con tomate, which was really good, and Nisha wanted another paella, and I couldn't say no to the queen on her birthday.
Remember how I said Vegetalia is a vegetarian restaurant? Well, because we were a little, shall we say, out of it, and we accidentally ordered a pizza with non-vegan cheese, and we didn't realize it until after we tried it.
Oops.
But I promise we are still vegan. Everybody makes mistakes.
The next morning we had to leave our lovely Airbnb because it was time to take the train to our next destination. I really enjoyed that Airbnb.
Me too.
Because our train ride was going to be like 9 hours, we wanted to get some snacks for the train, and luckily Mercat de la Boqueria was open, so we got to see it real quick. It's a really cool place. I really wish we could have spent some more time there, but we grabbed a couple photos, a couple snacks, and then we headed to the train station. It doesn't take too long to pass through security there and find your track, but make sure you arrive at least 20 minutes before your train leaves because the Barcelona station is kind of crowded.
And that was Barcelona. Our next stop, the south of France. To hear more about our honeymoon, our best tips for traveling to the places we went, check out my podcast, Biracial and Bitchy, which you can find on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. And for more behind the scenes photos and videos, follow Nisha Balsara on TikTok and Instagram. See you next week. Bye-bye.